Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a product I recently purchased, which is the DJI Osmo Action 3. This is the adventure combo. There is multiple combos available. I chose this one because it came with some batteries that I needed, so this was kind of overall better package. I'll put a link in the description where you can find the different options that are available or bundles to buy. On the combos, you're looking at the standard adventure, which is what I have. And you also have biking, diving, and skiing. So again, this one was the ideal one for me. I would say look at what you can find there as far as the combos and see what meets your needs. So let's start with the unboxing of the DJI Osmo Action 3. Note that I did take the shrink wrap off. I didn't see any reason to go through the process of taking that out. Now, packaging, I like the packaging they have on this one. Some key items to note about this particular model, the Action 3 versus the Generation 1. This does have 4K 120 frames per second. It has also the super wide field of view, which is kind of cool. It has the Horizon Steady, supposedly an even more advanced Horizon Steady, which I kind of look forward to trying out because it kind of helps mimic as if you had a gimbal of some kind. So we'll have to see how that works out. I'll be testing that out later on. The batteries supposedly are a lot more long lasting. They are cold resistant, unlike the first generation. They definitely should handle colder weather, which is a lot better overall. And it does have a new quick release mount that allows you to not only do the landscape mode, but you can also do a portrait mode if you're like doing Instagram, for example. That's something that can be useful. I don't do a lot of Instagram on my end. I'm more of a YouTube type of person, so I kind of focus more on that. It is 16 meters waterproof, which is pretty good without a waterproof case. Although sometimes I do go out and look at one or two low-end, good quality waterproof cases to use for certain situations like real muddy. If I'm taking shots on a real muddy type environment, that'd be something I'd probably rather mess up a low cost case versus having to clean up, my cameras. But it's kind of a preference thing. And you also have a dual touch screen. That's something new with this, so I kind of look forward to checking this out. Now on the adventure package, the things you do get with this, and we're going to go look at those when we open up the box, you do have a number of things. In fact, we'll just go ahead and, rather than listing it out, we'll go ahead and look and see what's in the box. So let's go ahead and open that. It has its usual green tab at the bottom that you pretty much have to peel off to get into the box. So we'll take a look at that. So one thing I do like about this box here, they do have some nice instructions here at the top with the different steps and different things. You do have the QR code that you can go ahead and link to and actually get the user guide, which is kind of handy. Inside here, you've got a number of things. Here is the actual Action 3 camera. We'll cover this in a little bit. In addition to that, on the adventure combo, you do get, if I can take that out, the selfie stick. Now, I got a lot of selfie sticks, but it came with the package, and that's not bad overall. I'll check it out, see how it is. Looking at this right now, I do like the grip. It definitely has a very nice grip to it. So I kind of like that. It does have a little loop here for a wrist strap, which is kind of good. You also have the 1/4 inch screw piece here so that you can put a tripod on it if need be. From what I see here, this is an aluminum alloy type. It is not carbon fiber, and does extend out pretty good overall. It's got a good reach to it. Now, one thing I do see that I kind of usually like in a selfie stick, if you notice here, this is permanent. So you don't have a 1/4 inch screw like some do, and you don't have the ability to remove this piece. So in a way, it's not my preference. I prefer, again, having a 1/4 inch screw and having the option to add this piece here. But unfortunately for this one, it does not. Either way, it's pretty good. You know, it's a good stick to try out. I think quality wise, it's pretty good. Like I said, it is an aluminum alloy, unlike other ones that are carbon fiber. So, but the weight wise, it's not too bad. I would say compared to some, it's a tad little bit heavier than most, but it's not too bad overall. I think that's good. In addition to that, we also have the battery charger and batteries, which are included in there. You also have some manuals that come in the box itself, and you also have a USB to USB cable. I'm sorry, USB to USB-C cable, and that'll be for your charger. Now, another thing we've got here. Oh, let's note one more note while I take this out of the way. Like most other products nowadays, they do not include a charger. So this does not have a charger like most of them nowadays. So in this scenario, you know, if you have a charger, that probably would be a benefit. I'm probably going to use one of my drone chargers to charge this, so it's not a real issue. I think if you've got a PD type power supply, it should work well with this as well. Like I said, if you have other chargers, I think 30-watt charger probably would be pretty good overall for this. But again, I've got multiples on my end because I have my drones that I use as well. And also, looks like you've got some other items here that came, accessories. So let's check these out. Got quite a bit in here. Let's see what the first item is here. From what I can see, this is the actual magnetic mount. So this is the new mount that they have, so we'll cover that in a little bit. You also have a screw for the mount. There's an additional one here, so you got a total of 2. And you also have the frame that goes around the Osmo Action camera. And in the little container here, you're going to notice here there's a little rubber ring that, or kind of looks like a gasket, but it's kind of a ring. This goes around the lens. It's an extra one. If you look here on the Action 3 camera, there's already one there, but looks like they include a spare one just in case you need it. So that's kind of good. You also have another mount here with an adhesive bottom. So I usually don't use this. I'll probably just keep this in a box. I have lots of these extras from other kits. From the looks of this here, it does include, I kind of like this. It looks like it includes another magnetic mount. And to me, that's kind of cool because I think that's good to have extra ones, and I'm glad that they supplied 2 in this kit. Definitely that is good. Silica gel here, we don't need that. So that's kind of cool. So if you've got your selfie stick here, you can set this up, put it in there, and get that screwed in there, and voila. So let's start. Let's jump into these batteries because we're going to need this here in a little bit. So this was a big selling point for me. I definitely love the charging case. I like that it's not just a charging case, but also a holder for the batteries. And as you can see, all 3 batteries are in here. They did change the design of the batteries. This is the new batteries that they have now. It does not have the outside gasket and outer part of the battery. Let me compare that to the first generation Action one. So here's the first generation battery, or first generation Action camera battery, and this is the 3rd generation of it. So like I said, as you can see, these here, this is the outer part of the battery with the orange gasket which seals it. As in this case, it is not there anymore. It is just a battery that's going to go inside the Action 3 camera, and the cover is actually part of the camera now. So, but again, I really like the way they did the case this time around. And this is not only for charging, you can actually use your cable and use this to charge, let's say like a phone, for example. So it not only charges, but you can charge other things using it and the batteries inside this here. So that's another cool thing about it. Let's go ahead and go into this camera here and see what's new. So again, the cool thing about this one now is that you've got a, from what I can tell, let's compare to the old version. So this is the Action DJI Osmo Action camera, first generation. Now the color is a little bit different. So the first generation is a little bit lighter in color, whereas the third generation, Action 3, is now looks like it is a darker gray, which is kind of cool. I like that. The screens almost are identical, although this one on the Action 3 looks a little bit bigger than this one. And the other difference here on this Action 3 camera now is that whatever menuing system you got back here on the main screen, you can now also control from the front screen. And I think that is a big plus. I mean, I definitely like that. That's one of the things I've noticed about cameras, and not to mention even an iPhone, is that when you're taking pictures and everything, you kind of have to flip it over to, well, do whatever things you're going to do on your screen. Whereas now here on this one, you can control it from the front, or from the front of the camera, which is great. Another difference here between the two, if you notice, the lens part of it here is now larger. So definitely the lens part of it is a little bit larger. If you do have ND filters, you're not going to be able to use the ones for the Action camera with the Action 3. You'll have to buy new ones, which I myself have already done. So that's another thing that you'll have to take into account. Now, this one here, let me put the battery on the first generation one. Now, the one thing I never really liked about this one, for starters, you don't have any way to mount this to a selfie stick. What you have to do is you have to use the frame that comes with it, and that frame on the regular Action camera was not bad, although you can't do portrait mode on this one. It only mounts as a landscape mode type mount. And this mount, the old mount that DJI provided, I really didn't like it. This is the adapter they used, kind of a proprietary type adapter. I was never really fond of it. In fact, I had to get a converter so I could use a 1/4-inch screw for this one here. So wasn't really the greatest. On the new one, this was a big seller for me on the Action 3 camera, is that this magnetic mount, if I can get the orientation right, it locks in, but it's magnetic, but it also locks in with the little locking pieces on the sides, and it is very sturdy. I mean, it's not going to come off or anything. So definitely I wouldn't be worried about it popping off. It locks in pretty good. Only way to unlock this is to press the little tabs on the sides in order to get it to come off. So it's not something that's easy. Now, if you want to do this horizontally, you get the frame for the Action 3 camera here, and you put this into the there we go. You put this into the frame, lock in the frame. Now the frame itself has a magnetic mount area here on this, so that you can now put this on there. So that locks it in. So now you're ready to do portrait style video taking for like vlogging, so that you can put that either on Twitter, for example, or even on Instagram. So you have that capability now. I think that's kind of cool overall. I kind of like that. It does come in handy. There might be moments that one would need to do something like that. So I think that's really cool. So I like that overall. The frame itself is good quality too. It's just not all plastic. This is a rubber piece for the button area. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, I've noticed it. I don't know if you saw me. If you put this in the wrong way, being that these are magnets, because the polarity is different at this in this orientation, it's kind of giving you a hint. If it doesn't line up and it kind of magnetically pushes you off to the side, that means you're not positioned right. Another clue is that if you see there's a logo on one side only. I don't think I can get this on the screen, but right there, there's a logo. The logo facing the front of your camera there, that will let it lock in. But the big giveaway, of course, is the way the magnets behave, again, because of the polarity. If you're doing it the wrong way, you're gonna feel that magnetic field here pushing you aside. It won't let it actually join up, so you can't do it. So, and even with a frame, you can actually mount this like this as well. So this is kind of cool if you're out in the field. You have the ability to do a quick change from the landscape mode to portrait mode. So that is really cool. I definitely like that design. I like the frame, good quality plastic material from DJI. I think this will last a long time. Very, very good overall. So let's put this aside and look at a few other things. You do have the power button here on the frame. It does extend there. Let's look at the Action 3 camera a little bit more. From the looks of it, you have to take it out this way, which is not bad. Put that aside. Again, on the lens itself, like I said, you've got a rubber gasket here that kind of acts as a protector for the edge of the lens that's here. This lens here, like in the first generation, is removable. You can unscrew this and add ND filters to it, or if for any reason you damaged or broke this, you can order another one from DJI, or just keep a spare on the side and swap it out. I have some filters that I'm going to try out. Mine actually will go over the existing lens here, protection lens here, so that's, well, I'll have to see how that works out. So if I have a chance, I'll do a review of those as well. And looking at the camera here, you've got the record button up here, you've got a power button here, and then you've got a little flap here that you have to open. If you notice here, it's got little indicators of orange. If you see orange, that means you don't have it closed. Then it's not a good idea to get that in the water. You got to make sure that that closes completely and you don't see any of that orange indicators there that would tell you that, hey, you have this flap open. Now, on the first generation, you had both the USB-C slot here along with the micro SD slot. In the Action 3, you do not have the micro SD slot in there. What they've done for this one here is, if I can get this open here, there we go. What they've done is now the micro SD slot is in here where the battery goes. So if we take the battery out of this guy, now these aren't fully charged. DJI typically won't fully charge these when they're shipped, so I'm gonna have to charge them. But as you can see, your battery goes in here, and it does have a little plastic piece here that you can pull to pull this out. And then you got to make sure that these pins line up. There's inside the camera itself, you'll see that the slots there for the pins. You can't go wrong. If you put this in the wrong way, it's obviously not going to close. So you can just go and verify that. Once you push it in, it'll be flush on the inside. And like I said, there's a slot here for a micro SD card, which is here now. On the older first generation version of the Action 3, like I said, that was located next to a USB-C slot, which is located right there on the side. So there's the USB-C and the micro SD slot here. So they changed that a little bit. It's not a bad deal. I think that kind of helps overall in some case. I mean, it's kind of, there's probably a reason for it, but it might have not been bad having it over on the other side, but either way, you're gonna have to open something to get to the micro SD card. So it's the same thing overall. So another thing too on this, when you open this, there is that orange indicator saying if you still see that, that means you don't have it fully closed. You want to make sure you push this in, and you can hear that snap and showing that it is fully closed. Now it'll be ready to go into the water and not be worried about damaging it. On the side here, you got quick settings button here with it also being the power button. So you push here on the side, and that would power your Action 3 camera. I haven't done any settings on this. I just took it out of the box. So I'm probably going to charge my battery first before I do any of that. But that's pretty good overall. The quality and feel is great. It looks like it's a little bit more square edges. They're still kind of rounded, but this was a little bit more kind of curvy on the edges. Not a bad thing. I think it's pretty cool. I really like the dark gray color on the Action 3 camera. It is slightly larger than the first generation camera, from what I can tell, at least from here to here. That looks like it's maybe, I would say, probably a little bit less than a 1/4 inch wider, but not that much, not that much at all. Looking at the main screen in the back here, it looks to be on the Action 3 a little bit wider as well. So overall it is definitely a little bit bigger. I'm looking at the actual display because you do have a black frame around the actual screen, and it actually is smaller on the first generation one than it is on this one here on the Action 3. So a little bit difference there, but the big selling point for me again on this was the touchscreen in the front. You know, having that option, unlike on this one, I could see stuff here, but I didn't have the option of, you know, having a menu that I can actually select. So touchscreen in the front on the Action 3, but not on the older one. But both are still pretty good. I think pretty good overall cameras. So I think I've covered everything here. Again, like I said, I love the fact that they do come with a spare magnetic mount here. I definitely like that because I can probably set this up with something else, maybe possibly a tripod. I'll set up something there for that. Again, selling points for me was the front touchscreen there. I believe it's a better overall camera sensor on this. Might be a little bit bigger. I don't recall. Make a note there on the screen if I can. And other selling point for me was this case. I mean, it's one of those more of a preference. I really like this. I wish a lot of other manufacturers would kind of follow this kind of path of making it where it's a case for the batteries. Now I can put this in my carry-on or my backpack when I get on the airport, and I don't have to worry about where I have my batteries located. This is a lot better to store. I don't need a case because charging case is the case for the battery. So it's pretty good stuff overall. So definitely a good bundle if you are looking for multiple batteries. And in my case, I usually like having 2 extra batteries. This is a good choice on the Adventure combo. And I'll put a link in the description as well for the location of the DJI website that has the combos. Again, look and see what is your preference, what you would like. You know, they also have it where you can just buy the camera and then pick whatever options you want there. One question that probably comes to mind looking at both here is why upgrade? Now, in my case, I have the Action first generation, and it's a great camera. I've used it a lot in the field. I've used it for travel, no problems. Everything works really well with it. Had no issues. I really like it. I just really wanted more of a gimbal-like feel when I'm recording stuff, and that is another thing that I looked at the Action 3 for, is that it has that capability that, you know, you could do horizon steady, so it kind of makes it feel like you have a gimbal. I'll have to test that out and see how that works out, but definitely they're good. Really, you don't need to upgrade if you really like this and you're doing fine with it. Just no reason to upgrade. Again, it's going to be a preference thing. I personally see enough items in the Action 3. I didn't see it in the Action 2, but on the Action 3, I definitely saw some benefits there. Again, like I said, the charging, the charger itself being the case for the batteries. I do like somewhat the design of the batteries, the way they are now, where they don't have the cover. They're actually just a little battery that goes inside the camera itself. And again, I love the dark color that this came out as, and I like the touch screen that's in front. That's a big seller, and I definitely like the magnetic mounts compared to the first generation mounts that they had there. just definitely never really liked these guys, and this one definitely worked for me. So big pluses there. Again, like I said, do you really need to buy the Action 3 if you already have the Action camera? That's no, not really, unless you're looking at certain key things that the Action 3 does provide. Then that's probably worthwhile. And bottom line is, at the end, at the end of the day, if you look at things, it's not about what I think. It's not about what other people think. You look at what you like. If it's a Christmas gift and you just want to buy it, or you like toys and you just want to buy it, go for it, buy it. It's a great product. DJI definitely makes good products. So anyways, please make sure to subscribe and click on the like button for me. That helps me in the stats in YouTube, and by you subscribing, it definitely helps me continue doing videos for you guys. And I hope that you do benefit from this video, and I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.